ladies. Good evening, ladies. I feel like a news report. Let me just get this. Oh yeah, so tonight I'll be reading a Chinese calendar.
Okay. No, okay. This could be completely disastrous, actually.
Why? It's not been disastrous.
Right.
Just straighten that out.
I had a really good idea that it would be quite good for us to do a Facebook Live thing together. So this is the Conservatory Sunday Surgery, which is normally with me, except that it's with me and my great guest here, also known,
I do live here, you know.
Also known as Big T or my husband, although
Evening.
it could
Evening all.
It could also be known as Humpty Dumpty. Oh my God.
So because, right, now let me just, hey up Matt, let me just put this straight, especially for you Matt. She goes, you're taking up loads of room. I'm a big guy, when everybody shrinks, so I shrunk like this, and she calls me Humpty Dumpty. You know, immediately trying to put me in my place, even though I was already there. I don't know why
I'm just saying, you're taking up the entire script.
I think that I should pass you that, and then you can speak. There you go. So I'll stop talking, I'll put it on your face, go.
This isn't the speaking
stick.
tool.
Look, see, I'm going to talk
Okay,
now. You can't talk. You can't talk.
Okay, so what we were decided to do was talk a little bit about relationships, because I get asked quite a lot how by a mere miracle we are still together, and apparently I think in this sort of day and age that's quite, 10 years of marriage is quite unusual. Like a lot of our friends in our peer group, they do stop Talladega Nighting.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
They, things are more, I think, things are, nowadays are more difficult.
Yeah.
Financially, I think things are more difficult for our generation. There are a lot more pressures, I think. So we decided we'd talk a little bit about how, seriously, about how we kind of deal with things that come up. And obviously, in our relationship, we've had quite a few hurdles to kind of battle. And obviously when we first got together, we'd only been together for 3 months, and I was back on crutches and on a lot of painkillers and a lot of pain. Yeah. So we'd only been together for like a few months, and we had that first hurdle that we had to deal with. Now, normally in a relationship...
what did you say today though, which you'd never said before, which was, the first time she'd said it, I didn't really know you very well. I never thought about that. And then she said, the thing was that you'd stayed and what have you.
After 3 months of being together with someone, you don't really know them. So I kind of anticipated at each time I was having a bad day that that was going to be it, that you were going to kind of bail. And obviously, that didn't happen, but it was a difficult time. It was a very difficult time for us to get through, because I wasn't very pleasant at quite a few occasions, because the pain levels that I was dealing with were just insane. And I think that when you first get together in a relationship, you don't want the person who you're with to be putting your clothes
testing.
That's what it is for you, rather than taking your clothes off. That's the point.
But we did that for the first couple of months, and then we just got bored, didn't we? But anyway, it was like that. But then. I don't know, because I'm not even giving everybody eye contact now when I talk about this, because I just did it because it just felt like the right thing to do. I couldn't see you suffering like that, not being able to put your clothes on, not being able to work, not being able to get to work, and
I went to work
every day. Yeah.
But
is there any kids watching? Stubborn bastard, wouldn't. There was like a one time that I think it was a Monday, wasn't it? That you just didn't go to work.
It was one day off in an 18-month period.
Yeah.
And I actually couldn't get to work, but that was Diazepam's fault, not
and half a glass of wine, wasn't it? Half a glass of wine. Yeah. This is the truth. This is the truth tash. Yeah.
It was the truth tash.
The truth tash. Look, this is the truth tash. I'm telling the truth now. Yeah, the wine and the diazepam.
I'm glad we're not on the BBC since you're swearing, but so that was like the first hurdle we had, and then we had some with like.
Oh, cheers, Tim.
Career type things. And,
I don't know who you are, Tim, but oh yes, I do know who you are. How's Elaine? She alright? I've saw some stuff about her back, but anyway, we'll get to that at some point. Osteomologist will put her straight.
Oh yeah, no, I will do. I will do.
Hey, Dal!
Okay, stop talking to me.
Why? They're listening.
So the thing that obviously we had like 2 years ago, I had an operation, so that we had that to deal with, which that was really interesting. People who know me will know that I'm quite independent, and I actually would have been quite happy to go to most of my appointments by myself, but in actual fact, you came to every single appointment with me, didn't you? And as much as I could have coped without that, it was really nice to have that support.
Yeah, we just
kind of went through the
whole
whole
took
thing
the piss,
together,
didn't we? We
didn't
just laughed about everything. It's probably the wrong thing to do, isn't it? You're in a hospital. We should sit. It's like other places. It's like shopping centres do it as well, because they accelerate your heart rate by putting the heat up, don't they? So you get more in the moment when it comes to buying stuff. Why did they do that in hospitals? They just want to get more money for the buck when it comes to making you pass out in the waiting room so that other people got something else to do. But it was just red hot every single time we were there.
They kept trying to feed us chocolates.
Yeah, so and you're already struggling because you're watching mid-afternoon television, which is, if there was anything I could have thrown at the TV to break it, or just get up and just smash it on the floor in a fit of rage, because my blood sugar's just gone up because I've just had my 5th quality street, make my next can of Coke, because the water machine's knackered. But we were just laughing all the time, which was just, having a good sense of humour does help.
To be fair, that laugh
Hey, Vicky.
help us get through, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
Really.
Having a sense of humour does help with anything else.
I think most of the hospital staff thought we were a little bit insane, but they're
not going to say anything to me, are they? Really, because I'm a big scary bloke. But
it did help us. It did help, though.
Yeah, it did. What was the name? What was the name of the? What was the name of the lady, the nurse? What's she called? Is it Karen?
Karen, yeah.
We need to get Karen in breast care at Pinderfields Hospital. Plastics department, whichever. It's all to do with boobs. She was just amazing. She was just so supportive, and
she kind of tapped into that sense of humour and went with it, didn't she?
Yeah, she was. Yeah, that's how
so
she.
that helped. She recognised that's how we were going through and how we were dealing with it, and so she used that as well. Which was really good.
Cheers, Vicky.
And my surgeon, to be fair, was
Mr. Mohammed.
Mr. Mohammed. Yeah. He was the same kind of kettle of fish. Even in my last operation, I was awake for it because I asked to be. But we actually had a laugh during the op, which was a little bit weird. But have you talked about your boob choice size? Remember the conversation? No. You had the partition and it comes out with the size chart. There was something like that, and we had a giggle. We were just like, out of all the things that we could have been thinking about, we'd never ever thought about boob size at all. He did ask me what size. We actually laughed. We're just like, we were like skitting behind like a partition that they'd put up, and I don't know. I thought that was it, because obviously Emma had to strip off and everything else. But we were just like, we're going to decide this. Or I just told him to make me something he likes.
We were just like,
make some you like.
It's just a question that you just didn't think about, because all I was bothered about was making sure that Emma was all right. I wasn't particularly bothered how big or bloody small they were going to be. I just wanted her just to come home. So
yeah.
But yeah, just stuff like that really. That you just. And Mr. Mohammed was great. We were just like, so you do have to remember, Emma, you can't do any exercise, none at all. And I was like, I can't even go on the exercise bike. No. Can't lift any weights. No.
That didn't last.
No, it didn't. What was it? 3 weeks, something like that.
He told me 3 weeks. He did a week.
Yeah,
I lasted, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But no, it was very, very good. God, this hat's tight. It's nice.
Maybe is it mine?
It's not, it's mine. I ordered it off eBay. I'm going to try and just put it up like. There we go. That's a bit. No, that looks stupid.
You do have a massive head.
Oh, thanks a lot. There you go. Anyway, so.
Back to kind of like what the relationship thing. I think we've both had trials and tribulations that we've gone through. Like work, career, finances, health issues. But I think we've hit points where we've had to kind of make decisions to bring ourselves back together as a couple, really.
Yeah, well, that's
you know, everybody has problems, and I think everybody faces different situations within a relationship and it is hard. You know, the life nowadays is not helped by all of the external pressures. So I think
what are these external pressures then?
You know, like finances.
Finances.
You know, it's hard. How many people do we know that can't afford to buy their own houses?
Loads of people.
You know, they've got external pressures like that. Work pressures.
Work's a beauty. Yeah.
Certainly in this country, we are expected to work an awful lot. You know, so I think you've got those kind of pressures. But I think the thing we wanted to really bring home to people is that if you are in a relationship and you are having like external issues, or there's problem that can actually create problems within the relationship, and I think that we wanted to sort of just share a few ideas of how we've kind of managed to keep it going. And anyone who was waiting to see the cat, she's here.
Yeah, I'm not touching the tripod because it just will never bend back again. But she is in play tonight. She always is.
So we've done little things like we bought as daft as it sounds, we bought a dining room table, and we make sure that when we have our evening meal, whatever time that is, because I sometimes don't get home till like 9:30, something like that. But whatever time we have the evening meal, we have that sat at the table together. Sometimes we have a cat as well. But
we don't eat a cat.
No,
she's normally just
we have
around.
a cat in attendance having some kind of discussion with us.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we do. We make sure that we do that, and we make sure that we talk about whatever's happened.
Just have a good moan about work.
Yeah,
and
no
stuff
TV.
Like that. Yeah, no
moan
TV.
about work.
Yeah.
Moan about whatever else has happened. You know,
very negative word is moaning, but it's about when I was doing the anger management stuff at the Brave Project. It's all about emptying the emotional tank. You know, it gets full up. And I don't know why I did a V, but anyway, that's how it was. And just don't want to get it confused with anything else. You know, vaginal symbols and all that stuff.
You think you're on the Da Vinci Code?
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. That's what I thought about. But you know, just sort of offloading stuff instead of like. Letting it pour into the relationship, which is probably maybe triggered by an argument or something like that, just to relieve that pressure.
Can become a void within the relationship. So, like, if I'm stressing and worrying about something, but I maybe don't want Tony to be stressed about the same thing because he's got enough on his plate. If I don't talk to him about what's going on in my head, then there's a distance that can be created.
Because I could be thinking it's something else that I've done.
You might think it's you or something.
Yeah, and vice versa, because that does happen and has happened. And we had an incident last night. There's no point trying to mix stuff up with stuff like this, because Emma had rung me on the way home like she normally does, because she normally does like...
Really tired.
Yeah, really. Well, she's normally really tired, but she's done like 7 or 8 hours. And then she goes and sees her mum and dad, and then she was on her way home, and there's stuff going on within the family at the moment with a family member who's not very well, and as families go, there's lots of people involved in the equation, and Emma was offloading and telling me, now I'm not particularly well at the moment, and she was just telling me, and I was just like, I just don't care, and Emma, I put the phone down then after we'd spoken, and I just rang her back and I just apologised, and I just explained that I understood what she was saying about the family member who were really struggling, and and it was really difficult. You needed to tell me because Emma's been with her mum and dad and been working all day and stuff, and she can be really 100% honest with me. And I just apologise for being so insensitive, but that's how I was feeling at the time. And
could have escalated.
Yeah, it could have, because you would have come through the door, and then you would have been thinking, "Oh shit, what am I walking into?" And which is something else as well that Emma does. You know, I sometimes think it's quite draining. Sometimes, just like she'll ring me every time she's on her way home, but I know why, because she's prepping to see how I am and what she would be coming into, because of other things that have happened in the past and stuff like that, not just within our relationship, but in previous relationships as well, which we're all model out on, aren't we? You know, with the experiences that we've had, they're the ones that influence basically how we see the world, and it's the same within relationships as well. You know, that certain things that have happened mould us, and we treat situations like that depending on what we've experienced.
Sometimes though, I just like to get it off my chest before I get
Yeah.
So
you
once
can just,
I walk in the door, it's kind
it's
of
done.
I don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, right. Well, let's do that. But then we won't have anything to talk about then. So it's got a double-edged sword, isn't it? Really. But yeah, if that helps, that's fine. But I've had to start practice being honest because I could be sounding like I'm not listening when I am actually listening. I just can't take in what actually Emma's telling me, and that's something we've had to talk about.
Yeah.
Just I am hearing what you're saying. I understand what's going on and what you need of me, but I think the best way to describe it, I just can't give you what you want right now. Not that I don't want to. It's just not going to come across very well. So we've done that, haven't we? I've said that to you, and it's been I've had to practice being that honest because it's not easy for blokes and all this type of stuff. Even though I'm quite emotional.
And that's the key, though, isn't it? It's actually communicating.
Yeah, communication. Yeah, it's a big thing.
Making time to communicate as well, because it's all right, sending a couple of texts or whatever, but you need to actually communicate how you feel, and a text doesn't convey emotion the same as having a conversation.
Not even the vast amount of emojis that we've got. It just doesn't cover it all. And that poo symbol, I tell you, that could just get misinterpreted all day long.
Not even that aubergine as well. I mean,
I don't know.
It's
just
that's far.
I sometimes do. I sometimes use them, but yeah, communication is a big thing, massive thing. And I know that I need to communicate, even like with my really close friends that I've got as well. Actually, that I did have in the past when I tried a lot of really honest communication with them and stuff. It was encouraged, and it is with some of my other close friends now. But sometimes I do shut off and just get my head down and stuff. And I've got friends that I can ring and talk to, but sometimes you just don't want to. It's quite difficult. But at the end of the day, that's what friends are there for, aren't they? I don't know why I've gone on that tangent, but I think it's because it's all about the subject. It's about communication, isn't it? Interpersonal relationships, whether that be with your wife, your friends, all that type of stuff.
So your friends are important though, because if you've got something that's playing on your mind that you maybe don't know how to address with me, then you can chat to your friends about it, can't you?
Yeah, some friends I can, yeah. And I like to choose friends that are going to be
honest.
Well, honest and objective about it as well.
Yeah.
Because I just might be an absolute arsehole and they're just going to tell me that, because sometimes I might just not be able to see what's really going on, and that's good sometimes, even though it's it's really quite harsh and stuff. But communication, that's a big thing, and also
making time for each other.
Yeah, there's that date night stuff like today. Just like today, I've been out shooting street photography all day on Saturday, which was really good, with a friend called Richard. He won't be watching because I don't think he's on Facebook, but yeah, hello Richard. Seen all your posts on Instagram, you bet me to it, man. I'm going to post them tonight. And got up today to catch up with cleaning and stuff like that.
Hi James.
Hi James, you alright? And I just said to Emma, look, Emma's just had a shower. She'd been in the gym for 4 hours, sweating on her exercise bike, whatever it was, bench pressing, half a house, And I just thought, let's just go out and stuff, because Emma came home really late because she got to get bloody diverted on the M62 and then had to go M1 southbound and then come off at.
Come back up the A1.
Come back at the A. I don't know. She went generally on a tour of Yorkshire on the way home, and didn't get home till like 11:30. And then I just thought, look, let's just go out. We were going to make pizzas and stuff, but I just thought, I love my house, our house. Not Emma's house, not my house, our house. even though it's in her name, but it's all covered on the life insurance. It's quite suffocating, isn't it? Really?
No, not really 4 hours.
Not really 4 hours, James. No, it felt like it though, mate. I tell you. But
2.5.
About 2.5, something like that. Yeah, motorway. I'm losing my will to live it. But no, just sometimes been in the home all the time. It's just like you go to work, you come home. You go to work, you come home. You go to work, you come home. We had to get out. Went to the Greek restaurant in Ossett, which, by the way, it's amazing. We were the only people there when we turned up. Guy that owns a place is great. I don't even know what his name is, apart from Big Greek Happy Guy. And it was just nice just to ad hoc just go out, have a nice meal, and then from there, went to factory store, didn't we? And you bought some clothes and stuff for our
We were actually
trip.
looking for cat treats. To be honest,
we were looking for cat treats.
So I went in every shop that I thought possibly
that coincidentally enough sell
and we
clothes.
still ended up having to go to
bloody
Batley.
Tesco's, yeah. And even then, when we got there were hardly any recipes left. But you know, our cats is not so. I've just got to nick something off there. It's okay. So we just sent Emma a message. But yeah, just stuff like that. You know, I know there's like date night and stuff, but I think sometimes it's just special enough just to just do it ad hoc, really.
We have very little time to do things ad hoc, I think. So the thing about doing that when you've got a space or an opportunity, it is something a little bit different, and it gives you an extra opportunity to kind of reconnect a little bit. Because if you have a date night, it does seem very planned, and I think it's important, and it's a little bit like sitting down and planning every night to have some food together and talk to each other, you know, with no TV, no radio, no distraction, and just talk. And I quite often kind of joke about the fact that this dining room table saved our marriage at one point, but it's quite true, because we did have that. We didn't talk, we sat in front of the TV and we had our tea sat there watching the TV, and we weren't talking to each other. But, you know, having something that's regimented is okay, and having it planned into the diary is okay, but I think spontaneity is useful, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because it just feels...
Like next Sunday...
It's like more of a bloody treat, isn't it?
Yeah, that felt like a treat today.
Yeah.
Because we hadn't planned it. But, I mean, next Sunday we're going to do a zombie apocalypse training.
If it ever happens, come to our house
we
first.
We
will protect you.
For some reason, it's going to be hilarious. Although I was very disappointed that you don't get to drive a tank. There's a certain.
This is the conversation that we had in the Greek restaurant.
Yeah.
Are we going to do tank testing?
There's an advantage to having a tank if you've got a zombie attack going on. Believe me. So if anyone's got a tank that they want to lend me, I think I'll win next weekend.
Right. Yeah. There's going to be no zombies there. She's just going to kill the people that are training us. But anyway. Or some wooden cutouts or something.
Maybe, yeah, wooden cutouts. But yeah, so we're doing that. That's like planned. That's going to be, hopefully, that's going to be funny. And of course, I will. Brilliant, thanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what else do we do? What other stuff do we do to like help?
Well, we send a lot of text messages and stuff, don't we? And
yeah.
you sent a picture a couple of days ago, didn't you? Of me covered in monkeys.
Oh yeah.
And that wasn't anything seedy or anything. It was just when we were in the Gambia and she just randomly sent it through. But just to show that she's just thinking about, like, we've got holidays coming up and trips away and stuff.
Yeah, and thinking about you, and you know, like it's a time that I think it was a time that he was happy. So
yeah,
I like to kind of remind him that is possible, because when you're going through something that's quite difficult, like you are at the minute, you know, it's hard to kind of keep sight of that. And I think if you get something really random in the day, like a picture of you when you were really happy, having a great time, covered in monkeys, you know, it doesn't have to be something like, you know, that in particular, but it's just to remind somebody that, you know, that they're going to get through it, I think, you know, and it's having that support there, isn't it, all the time.
Yeah.
And whatever, I think whatever it takes to get through, I think we've both proved that that's what, you know, we'll do that, won't we?
Yeah, send each other pictures and stuff and have regular contact through the day and stuff. I know text messages, pardon my French, are just a lot of bollocks out there. It's just like sending a quick email. But
this isn't the BBC.
No, I know it's the BBC. Yeah, balls fuck. Yeah.
Okay, calm down.
Sorry. You asked me on this show, so this is how I am. But yeah, should have guessed we're being paid for this. But no, it does. Technologies of it opposite. Monkeys rule, yes they do, Jim. But you are now Jim O'Hara, not Monkey Jim anymore. How you doing, Jim? You all right, mate? Thanks for
we can
coming
show
on.
you the monkey pictures, Jim. They were very
yeah, we'll post it at some point. But yeah, I've lost me. Oh yeah, technology. Yeah, it's good with the text messages, stuff like that, and actually, it's not. It's in work. Nobody can say anything because there's nothing in your contract or anything to say you're not allowed to use technology at work.
Well, not in your contract.
Well, not in the majority of contracts because it's some sort of human right or something.
Oh, is it?
I'm told, yeah. So it's and it's something because if anybody's got work mobile phones, they can't stop them using them, even though the other people's might be personal.
Really
just a little tip there, but don't use it in your cars, people, because of the 6 points and 200 quid. My God, yeah. On silent, in the pocket, on Bluetooth. That's the way for me now.
In the boot of my car.
In the boot. What is it with the ladies in the boot of the car? My boss does that as well.
Because there's no way they can accuse me of being on the phone if it's in the boot of the car.
There we go. I didn't think of it that far. I just put it on silent, put it in my pocket, scared that somebody's going to break into the car when I pull up to a set of lights, maybe.
I'm driving a BMW. People can't get in the car.
I'm driving an Audi.
They can't get in your car then, can't they?
Of course they can. They can break the windows. Mine's an older car. I think my central locking's packing up. They can have everything out of boot. But so yeah, technology have its good points, bad points. I'm following a guy on Twitter, not for any particular reason. Oh, actually, there is. He's suffering mental health problems, and he has breaks off social media. And with the issues that I've got going on at the moment, I had a break off social media as well because there's a lot of comparisons and stuff on with social media, comparing yourself to others, and that overindulgence of influences about what's going on in the world and what other people are doing and how
even
good
like
or
the
bad.
Relationships, there's actually
Your relationship status on Facebook.
But on Instagram, there's a full dedicated Instagram feed of perfect couples kissing. And I was just like,
why are we not on there?
Because it's ridiculous. But it's like
this is coming up again.
There's a full feed, and all it is pictures of couples who have just taken like a selfie or something whilst kissing and put themselves on, and it's about portraying this image of being a perfect couple. But even that in itself, you know, people are aspiring to that, aren't they? So it's not just comparing yourself; it's comparing your relationship as well. Because if you don't look like the perfect couple and you don't behave like the perfect couple, obviously you're not perfect. And I think that creates an awful lot of delusion, really, because you know that doesn't happen. I don't know anybody who really has an absolutely perfect relationship, unless you know. Well, I don't know, unless anybody else has got a relationship.
I'm going to say, there we go. That's the question for everybody. How do we define the perfect relationship? Well, come on then.
While we're waiting for
everybody, there's 7 people that are watching.
So we've got 2 questions then. So, how do you define the perfect...
Me and my Billy are the perfect couple. James, with you on that one. Boom.
How do you define the perfect relationship? And has anybody got any other tips that they use in their relationship for how they actually cope with things that happen and make sure that they, you know,
nothing murderous or violent, okay?
Nothing violent, and I don't want anything too perverse, like
why
weird,
not?
Because I don't need to have that image in my head.
Oh,
If someone tells me something, I don't want to be looking at that, knowing that.
Pictures can't be shared on here, it's okay. I don't think they can be anyway, so we'll soon find out.
So there you go. You can put those answers to us.
Yeah, because we don't have all the answers, but just like everybody else, it's just like...
And we're not, well, I'm not a relationship expert. I mean, you are a counselling psychotherapist, but I'm not a relationship expert.
Yeah, that doesn't really say anything apart from the fact that I've done
James,
a lot of
if
training.
you really, really want me to see a picture of you doing the thing that you do, please send it.
What thing?
I don't know. This guy says I'm a spoil sport. Just send me the picture.
Yeah, I'm going to say, copy me in, James. I need to obviously validate it, whatever it is.
Actually, James, you know what you could do? You could do a Dare to Bear selfie and show me that special thing that you do.
You said that twice now. Have everybody noticed that? Special thing that James does.
Special thing.
Right, okay. I don't know half the people that Emma knows on this Facebook. But no, we're not experts at all. We're just, you know, there might be just... It'd just be nice to influence, you know, Emma's been telling me that, I nearly hit you in the face, I'm sorry, that people call us a power couple. I don't really see it like that at all, but it's nice when people...
I think people just have respect for the fact that we've got through what
all the crap we've got through. Yeah, but I think it's just a willingness to carry on and just to be able to see the reasons why we should still be together and still be going on, because I've been in the pits of despair. Got to go now, guys. Bye bye. Take care, James. Thanks for being on tonight. I've definitely not got all the answers and stuff, but I just love this woman next to me, and that's what was the only thing really. Just a little dance, you know, just to joke it off, you know, because it's not real. But you know, you just you just find a reason to do it, don't you? And that is the reason for me. But I did lose sight of it a lot because it was difficult and stuff, and you know, to keep going.
It's always easy, is it?
No, you've had issues, and but you know, if you wanted to stay with me with the problems I've had and stuff, I've not been, you know. Good job we've got strong walls and white doors. You know, I don't know why the colour's relevant, but anyway. I'm going to have to take this hat off. It really is actually giving me a headache. There we go.
Oh no, you've got a hat line.
Woo! I've got a hat line.
Yeah, look, you've got a hat line.
Where?
There you go.
Right, don't draw a knob on my head. Just like that. Yeah. But no, yeah. So we're not experts. We're just experts on his own relationship and the experiences that we've had. So, but yeah, come on. I know there's only 4 people still watching, but it's 5 people now. Come on.
6.
6 people. If I keep just saying the number 7. Come on, 7. 7.
No.
8.
That's not happening.
8.
This is not working. Anyway.
Right. Okay.
So how long have we been waffling? Oh, half an hour. That's some good waffling.
I fed most of the time.
Okay. So I think summing up.
Oh, we're just doing half an hour. Is that
communicate? People don't want to listen to us for that long, but believe me. I think to sum up, what we will do is probably not next week because
you need scorecards.
Because if
Jimmy, you drinking a couple of Stellas tonight, mate?
No, I'm going to say if next week we probably won't be doing something, will we? Because I'll still be, recovering from my zombie challenges.
7.
But,
7. Yeah. We'll aim to because I don't know where is Stevenage in it or something.
I don't know.
It's in some faraway place. But we'll try and get back in time to do it for 7 o'clock because I was going to do this for my photography stuff as well, and I will do at some point. And I'm just not going to commit to when that'll start because I've just got so much other stuff going on. But I would like to do it because I've got projects and things in mind. It's just I want to just make sure get myself back up to speed first, and then I can crack on really.
Okay. So let's aim to do something for next week. But the message for today, I think, is make time for each other and communicate because
talk. I
do think that when I talk to other people, and obviously I've got quite a lot of patients and friends and stuff. Yeah,
Tim. Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah, we do take the mickey out of each other.
You should meet my mother. I tell you, she's hilarious. That's where I get it from.
But I think that's because we're like friends as well, isn't it? Because you can kind of joke with each other like you would your friends.
Yeah, because I can take the piss out of you and you don't take it. Yeah,
I won't take it.
Sarcasm is just not the lowest form of wit. It's just. Oh, I don't know.
Sure
you
I
can
survive the day.
Oh God, no! I sometimes I have to do. I have to find key people that I can just release that comedy valve with and stuff.
Yeah.
Observational humour. God,
definitely.
On it has a certain amount of shelf life when it comes to trying to get through the day. But better sarcasm and stuff. But you've got to find the right people that can take it. And when you do, it's just amazing. And then you kind of got over a lot of barriers, don't you, about what the person's like because. I always find if you find somebody who really likes and understands sarcasm, boom, you're going to get on. Absolutely going to get on. That seems to be a constant with me and stuff. So
if you've got a shared sense of humour,
it does help. Yeah.
Or a shared interest, that helps.
Apart from loving each other's the first one.
No, I'm talking about on top of that.
All right.
Because I think if you're in a relationship, you do love each other, but I think that's what you lose sight of. Because that's maybe a kind of prerequisite. It's an expectation that you love each other, or you can become stale with that. So you need to keep other things going. So if you've got interests that you share, or you can take the mickey out of each other, I think that's an ideal kind of scenario, really.
Yeah. Do you think we're going past like the husband and wife jokes and so we do sometimes, don't we?
We used to
pretend to we used to go to weddings and pretend to fight just to see what people would do. People, oh God, what they're doing! But we did that for it just to see.
And we had one particular couple friend who I'm not going to say the names of, but we used to do that to them all the time.
Who was it? Oh yes, yes.
All the time we used to pretend to fight. And it was very, very
It was.
Well, we found it funny. I'm not sure they found it funny. But yeah. But that was like a shared joke though, wasn't it?
Well, we tried to make it a shared joke, but it didn't last a bit. But yeah, relationships are not one of the hardest things next to... What was it? Next to everything. Well, yeah. Don't know.
It's hard.
It is
I think
difficult.
people should not underestimate how difficult it is to stay together in a relationship. You know, we've got some friends who've been together a while. You know, Marcus and Annalise have been together a long time.
They have.
You know, but I look at my parents and my grandparents, and they went through some really heavy stuff, and they you know, if they managed to stay together and they managed to survive, like my granddad always said to me, you know, it's not a bed of roses, but if you love each other, then you have to talk about it and find a way through it. And I think that really is, you know, it may be a few generations before me, but it's sound advice. That's the thing, you know.
And which granddad are you talking about?
Grandad
Reed.
Al.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, rest in peace, my friend. What a guy he was, I tell you. He was.
He was also like really, when I first got together with Tony, he said to me, whatever you do, make sure you live with him before you marry him in case he's got any bad habits you can't deal with.
Oh, hey! I made sure I was married first before I started.
I thought that was hilarious though. For someone of his age, like, that was quite.
Yeah, but it was very quality control because of your grandma, wasn't he, and stuff.
Yeah.
But he was actually quite a rogue, wasn't he? Really.
Yeah, he was funny.
He was really funny.
But yeah, so I mean, obviously we've been watching the comments, and nobody's particularly come up with any of their own ingenious ideas. So, Mr. Brady, I know you've been in a relationship with your lovely wife for a long time. I'm sure you've got some pearls of wisdom to share with us. So if you can let us know how you guys have survived through all that time, that would be fabulous.
I found the key to a perfect relationship is to leave the wife at home and take the girlfriend on holiday. Tim, can always count on you, mate, I tell you.
Well, if that's what works for you, that's what works for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, are you actually an Italian mafia boss? Is that why? And then there's like a certain understanding between you both that that's what's going to happen, so that you stay together and keep face for the family.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, I know he's joking about taking the girlfriend on holiday, but you know, there's nothing wrong with going on a lad's holiday, is there? Or like, you know.
Oh, right, yeah, there is.
You go on a lad's holidays all the time.
Well, yeah, but which one am I thinking about in particular? Read my mind. Involves motors.
Yeah, well.
That
was a different.
Yeah, we mentioned a couple earlier, Marcus and Annalise. I'm sure they won't mind us telling this story. Marcus had an unfortunate crash at the Nürburgring. Nearly died, but didn't. Fortunately, because he was driving a German motormobile.
We are not sponsored by German cars.
No, yeah.
Both drive German cars.
But Emma was away on holiday with his missus, and we just made it as mission to basically get home as soon as we could, sorted out recovery of the vehicle, stuff like that, made sure that Marcus and his passenger were okay, and swapped cars around, all this type of stuff, and zoomed back to get on the ferry. Emma's sending me messages asking how everything's basically going and stuff like that. I'm getting to the point where I just don't have the finger power anymore to lie to her. So I stopped responding to her messages. I'm laying at home in bed the next day, once we'd got back. Emma rings me.
Noting the fact that it wasn't the ringtone for the country he should have been in.
Yes, and thinks that I'm lying about something. What's the first thing she thinks of? Who are you sleeping with? Who are you with? This, that and the other. Because that can be the only explanation as to why I'm basically not where I'm supposed to be. But obviously the story was I didn't want to worry him and they'd come back and, you know, all that type of stuff. But yeah, this is
our point though. This is the point we've been talking about.
Yeah, about being true.
Communication.
Yeah, communication. Yes.
Because if you'd have just said to me, look, this has happened, that would have been, you know, an easy, but it could have gone completely wrong. I was so mad at you. I know
you was. Yeah, I was glad I was in bed so I could pass out after the conversation. But you were happy. You were not happy. But
no, I think that's the point, though, isn't it? You know, you thought you were protecting me.
Yeah, that was what I thought was
not saying what was happening.
And we didn't want to spoil your holiday because you weren't coming back for another couple of days, were you?
Yeah, but I would have preferred to know the truth.
Yes, but would Annalise have prepared to know the truth as well?
I don't know. I can't answer for her.
No, it's
but
true.
For
But
me
you would have
personally,
wrong.
I wanted to know the truth, and the fact that I knew you were lying and you were pretending you weren't, that didn't go down very well.
I was still lying even when I was answering the phone. Yeah.
So that was a good example.
A good example of when
you should tell the truth.
I should have told the truth, but didn't think it was very reasonable to do so. But it always comes to this point, doesn't it, with stuff like this. We should do something like so. It's hello from me.
That's goodbye
from her. So that's why she brings me in. I had this element of comedy and another dimension to what's going on.
I think that's it. We've talked about what we wanted to talk about, and hopefully we'll do something next week as well. And if anyone's got any questions in the meantime or any suggestions, then just let us know. And if not, hopefully we'll see you 7 o'clock next week.
Right. Yes. And good night from me. Good night from her.
Bye.
Bye.